Is that one or
Ganun
two?
lang.
I think.
Ay, wait, nalalabas na ako.
Oh no, hindi to ah. Ay, hindi. I turned it off. Kaya pala. I
Ay,
turned mine off. Sige, ako na. Iba tayo. Yarn! Ay,
just
wait.
a Mac thing.
Yeah, like I'm gonna send all of the.
Just checking the YouTube. My camera was too dark.
Just doing our usual sharing stuff. Telegram. Copy. Paste.
Copy link.
Come read with us. Okay. Shared.
Link.
Hi, Sina. How are you? Are you gonna be reading with us? Just doing our usual shares,
Yeah. Hold on.
housekeeping stuff.
Yeah. Hi, Sina. Wait,
I'm good, and yes, I will be trying to decide what to read next, though. I have been reading along. Let us know what are your options. Maybe we could help you decide.
yeah.
Options for reading. Is
Oh,
it going to be like
reading a lot of lit fic.
between a couple of fantasy books or like lit fic versus fantasy? Hey Sash, how are you?
Hi, welcome to the sprint.
We're doing good. I'm personally melting from the heat, but we're alive. We're doing good. It's been a good reading day for me. I've actually been reading just pretty much the whole day. It's a chill weekend. It's Saturday for us.
Yeah.
I think it's Saturday morning for most people. How about
Ooh. I was lazy today, but I did get to read one arc. So I felt accomplished. And then I'm going to read another arc tonight.
Oh, you finished the
Like
arc? You finished an arc
a
today.
different arc. It's a shorter one though. So I was like, a novella, count me in as long as I read it fast. That's why I was comparing it earlier when I was looking at it on the Kindle. So I kind of tested the waters again if I do read faster in my iPad. And I think
Mm.
I did. Because I was comparing how big the screen is and like how different the number of sentences that could fit in a screen. So I think with the iPad, I just did like, since it's a 25-page novella, I was like, I just did like 8 swipes or like
Mm.
10 swipes.
Yeah,
Versus like if it's a Kindle, I
multiple.
feel like I read more pages because like I had to like
Keep
swipe
swiping.
more pages.
Maybe you need to get the remote so it doesn't feel like a lot of pages because you just click, click.
But I visually still see it that it's turning. Or I
Stash
just
is reading
needed a
Pride.
bigger Kindle.
Maybe there's a new. Well, it's not a Kindle. It's a
No,
Kobo. Yeah, it's a Kobo.
no. I saw
You
this one where
forgot
you
your
can.
Kindle.
I know. I saw this. Like the colored one.
Yeah, it's for Kobo, I think. But
Yeah.
then again, the problem with Kobo for people who use
Yeah.
the US libraries
Libby.
is that
Yeah.
you can't access it. It sucks. So Sasha's reading Bride, and how
Ooh,
are you
Ali has
liking
a
Bride?
work.
I saw on Discord that you just got to the airplane scene. How
Girl,
was
is
it?
that a not emoji?
Yes, it is a not emoji.
To be fair, I haven't even read it yet, but I already know what that means.
Everyone's saying that is introducing like nothing and Omegaverse to the mainstream. But I saw that you went to the airplane scene. You said in Discord that you were feeling like there was nothing happening. Now, what are your thoughts on the airplane scene? Okay, Sina's options: God Killer, Daughter of the Moon Goddess, Nettle and Bone, or The Wolf and the Woodsman. At least for fantasy, I have some horror stuff. I have not read any of those books. I do
Daughter
know
of
Net
Daughter of the Moon Goddess is the one with the super pretty
yeah,
cover.
Nettle and Bone. Oh, I was thinking of a different one. I thought it's the Kingfisher one, but apparently it's not. Is it? The
God Killer also has like it's a
it is the
series of
Kingfisher.
prison.
Okay, just with her pseudo name. I vote Nettle and Bone just because I love the Kingfisher. I haven't read any of these though. Hi Charlie, welcome back to Sprints. How are you?
Wait, the
Reappearance
Wolf
of
and the
it's the
Wolfman
new one.
Woodsman sounds so familiar.
Currently 11 pages in and I'm obsessed. I was up there. I actually got this book recently. I haven't opened it, but I got this book recently and I'm just so excited because I was just I really enjoyed Good Girl's Guide to Murder, but I wasn't like
Hmm.
obsessed with it, but I'm kind of craving that YA thriller, mystery thriller vibe. So I feel like this would be a good book to do that in. Up until 5 a.m. with that one. Well, I guess that means it's a really good book. So good for you. Not for your sleep, I suppose. I was hoping to read more today, but that's okay. If I finish Bride and then a graphic novel, we have to. Oh, that's good because I have only read one book. I haven't finished. I'm still reading the one of the books for Jan's Readathon. I have a very short short story. I have a short story for another prompt, which is like 30 pages. I think I could do that. And then the other book for that is A Study in Drowning, which is also for magical
Ooh,
readathon, which is why I put it in there. But I don't think I'm gonna finish it this weekend because I haven't even started. And then the last one that I put in there was Dear Medusa, which is a book written in verse, so that should be quite quick, but I'm not haven't started it yet. It's also in my 12 friends 12 recs challenge, which is why I wanted to read it. But you're doing good. You're almost done with the prompts. Lol, yes, I'm eating my earlier words. They can keep my money. For context, Sash said in the Discord that she wants a refund because it's 100 pages in and there's no sexy scene.
nothing.
Yeah. Then she got to the airplane, the private plane, and now she's eating her words.
No more refunds needed.
More refunds needed, yes. Yeah, it is Teking for sure. I just realized when I read the name, like Ursula. Ursula sounds familiar. Yeah, it is Teking for sure. I've only actually read one Teking Fisher book, which is What Moves the Dead, and I really loved it. Like 5 star, loved it. So I'm like all for Teking Fisher right now. I want to try more for books. I want to read Thorn Hedge. I think it's also short. So we're good. We just mentioned earlier that we're dying of heat, but otherwise we're good. Been
Yeah,
a
it's April
lazy,
here, so summer is starting
yeah.
and we're dying.
Is it getting warmer? I forget if you're. Are you are you from Australia or New Zealand? I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I'm forgetting where you're from, so I'm not sure if is it getting colder or getting warmer for you. Nalan is well. I hope you like it. I hope it didn't just give you like a bad wreck, but it's the Kingfisher, so hopefully it's good. Oh, same author as Studying Drowning, right? Ava Reed. Yeah, Ava Reed. Is it her debut book or something she wrote before A Study in Drowning? Because that's the first book that I know of her. Yeah, I have it already and I checked it earlier and it was quite it's not that long, so I think I could do it tomorrow. I definitely will finish this in this sprint, King of Wrath. So I guess let's talk about
Mm.
what we're reading. So I'm gonna be reading King of Wrath for the sprints. I am on page 241 and this is only like 320 or something like that. So I'm almost done. I'm definitely gonna finish it in like 2 sprints. And then I will probably either start Dear Medusa or the short story because then I would feel accomplished finishing
Yeah,
like 2 books in
exactly.
one sprint session. So maybe I'll do that. How about you, Pam? What are you reading?
So I will be reading an arc. It's for a sci-fi. What's this called again? Sci-fi space heist. So it's
Oh,
called Full Speed to a Crash Landing. It's by
sounds
Beth Revis. So I just know that it's going to be a sexy space heist,
ooh, sexy spirit. All right, full speed.
and it's like 190 pages long. So it should be quick to get to at least halfway of this book.
That sounds so interesting. I'm just adding it to my, as usual, I'm adding it to my TBR. I'm still scared to actually start NetGalley. I mean, I have started it. I've gotten 2 books out of it. I've read one, did not put any reviews out.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for it in my library. I feel like I'm at the point now where there's really no point in trying to get arcs when I don't read them immediately anyway.
Mhm.
So I might as well just wait for it in the library. Thornhedge is tiny. Yeah, I know. Like that's I feel like Peking Fisher always write like short novella sized books, but I think Nettle and Bone is a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure. I think Nettle and Bone is like 300. Is it? Bone 325, yeah. But then the books that I've seen from her are mostly like shorter books. I'm not sure how she fares with like longer books because I really like What Moves the Dead. I feel like even if it's so short, she like really did a good job at like rounding out everything, and it wasn't boring. It wasn't too fast. The pace was really good. Not sure if her full size, full length novellas or novels are the same. Pretty old book by her, one of her first, I think. Ah, okay. I'm gonna have to check it. Is it based on, I don't know, Red Riding Hood or Little Red Riding Hood or something? Is it like a inspired story? King of Wrath is on my 12 Rex, my 12 friends, and I can't wait to get it. It's a very quick read. I mean, knowing you will probably like smash this out in a day. I started reading this morning. Well, no, that's a lie. I read like 10 pages last night, but essentially I started reading this morning on and off, and I'm almost done with it. Super easy read. Good evening! Mga shenanigans. Good evening, Bea. What are you going to be reading? By Virtue I Fall by Cora Rayleigh. Why do I feel like I'd never know the books that you're reading? By Virtue I Fall. Ooh, the cover is giving romance. Sins of the Father series.
True, I fall. Or mafia romance. I haven't tried a mafia romance yet, so
Mafia romance. Have I tried a mafia? Ah, yeah. They're not really considered mafia. Kind of like an underground
by virtue
organization.
I fall.
Mafia romance. I'm gonna, as usual, add this to my TBR. Are you liking it? You're on the third book in the series, so I'm assuming you're loving it. Is it following like one couple, or is it those kind of series where each book is like a different couple in the same world? It's a spin-off series to Born in Blood, Mafia Chronicles, and Camorra. Wow, it's a whole universe.
Cassandra
Google White
Clare who?
Hunters Chronicles. Who? Their next gen characters. Okay, I hate the first two books. Why are you still reading a
Yet
third?
here you are.
Just you wanna complete it, completionist tendencies. Is that what you're why you're still reading it? Different characters. Okay, that's why. Okay, makes sense. Very common in romance, like having one universe and then one couple per book. So I feel like all of the romance, like you would imagine romance books are not like series, but then a lot of the romance that I read are like part of a series. I'm reading because I'm giving it a chance. But how many chances are I gonna give? Is it like three
it's
strikes?
giving it's giving marupok.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Do you guys want to start the first sprint since we've gone through all the chat comments? Majority are companion series. Yeah. They are. And a lot of them are. I feel like they're purposely like introducing people in the first book so that they could like create companion series. I have long patience. Okay. I'ma start the first sprint. We're gonna do 25 minutes.
Yes.
Um and happy reading.
Come in. That was new.
I forgot to change it. But anyway, it's not that intense. I was just shocked. How was your reading?
It's good. I finished two chapters, so that's up to like 12% of the book. So I
Mm,
like to think I do read faster on the iPad. So I'm gonna continue doing so.
okay.
Because so this is how big I'm
Okay.
reading.
Yeah.
So like
It's
I'm
hard one.
like if I'm reading on the Kindle, I feel like one page is just this one, then the
Yeah.
second one. So
Usually for me, it's like three Kindle in the size that I read in my Kindle, which is I guess this size. It's
mm,
usually like three Kindle pages is equal to like one actual page.
yeah.
Yeah. How was everyone's reading? If I hate this, I'll read something different. Well, I hope you like it. How far are you into the third
Hey,
book?
that's already the third book.
I'll read while eating my dinner.
The drums.
Sorry. Was it too much? I can change it. I'll
No,
change
no,
it.
no, it's okay, but better
Because
than the Disney one.
the harp, you don't like the harp?
Yeah, that shit's scary.
How was Nettle and Bones? And have you started it? Are you liking it? Or are you gonna switch to a different book? I made it to page 270, which is 71%. So I didn't read as fast as I usually do because I had to like do some stuff for the video that's going out
Mm.
tomorrow. But hopefully next sprint I can finish. My reading is okay so far. 40 pages on your Kobo. Rose seems interesting but I make cliche. Actually, I have no idea what Nettle and Bone is about. Like, I just know that it's teaching fishes.
Actually, you know what? Haven't.
So, Nettle and Bone is a dark and compelling fantasy about sisterhood, impossible tasks, and the price of power.
Oh,
Um,
surprisingly, haven't seen this like around. I've
okay.
only seen What Moves the Dead by the
Yeah.
same author.
Have you read it? No.
No, it's been on my
Really?
TBR.
It's good. And it's super quick, too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like a fairy tale. There's like a prince and a witch, and then she has to
But
complete
What
like
Moves the
three
Dead is a
tasks.
series.
It is. There's two books, but the book itself, like the first book, can stand alone. There's no like cliffhanger or anything. We're just following
Mm.
the same male protagonist into the second book, but the first book is like can be read on its own. Not sure about the second. Haven't read it. She's a princess who survives in a barren world and knows magic. Hmm. I have no idea either. I I hope it like gets better with the cliche character. But one thing that I like about T Kingfisher is that she's so good at setting the atmosphere. Like she's
Mm-hmm.
like with the What Moves the Dead, I was super creeped out. I think like I'm not well read in horror, but I feel like she did a great job in creating that like horror atmosphere. It was really she does a lot of like nature horror. Is that what
Mm.
you call it? Like describing the trees, the mushrooms, things like that in
Mm.
a creepy way. Like she did a lot of that in What Moves the Dead, which is pretty good. So highly recommend. But I haven't I don't even know what the second book is about. What feast at night. There's no like synopsis at the back. Yeah. Things are and I'm getting to the third act conflict of the book, so things are getting fast paced.
So is King's Wrath more on the wait, is it fantasy in the first place?
No, no, no. It's
It's pure
pure, just
photograph.
romance. Yeah, it's just romance. Well,
Why
I'm not sure about the
King
other
of Wrath
books.
though? Oh,
I'm
it's
guessing
fantasy. It's considered fantasy.
it's well. There's no fantasy elements to the first book. It's fantasy. Wait,
Hmm.
King of Wrath, Anima,
Billionaire CEO. Of course, it's always a billionaire CEO.
of course.
They're never a
Does it say
millionaire. They're
fantasy?
always a billionaire.
It doesn't say fantasy in Storygraphs. I'm not sure. Is that Goodreads?
He, it is fantasy in Goodreads.
It's not. There's no fantasy element to it. Like, well, I don't know. Maybe in the last 30%, something like fantasy will happen, but so far, no fantasy. It's just a very typical story. Billionaire, grumpy, CEO,
Steamy
marriage,
billionaire arranged marriage romance.
arranged
It
marriage.
contains profanity. We love that.
Yeah. And then I think the other books are just the same. I guess they're just based on. I think it's King of Wrath because he's like a very angry guy. So I
Oh,
guess.
I remember who's reading King of Wrath. It's Moon. The
Mm,
it's
yeah, yeah,
Moon.
yeah.
Because I saw her TikTok. Like
TikTok. I
she's
guess it
obsessed
is.
with like Dante or like
Yeah,
the
Dante
main
Russo.
guy.
Yeah, that's the main guy for this. There's no like he's just angry. Like he likes boxing to get to let the steam um yeah, he's just angry. There's no like magic or anything. Not even magical realism or anything like that.
Unless they do
Unless
magic. Yeah.
30%. We'll never know. Yeah, the atmosphere is compelling so far. A world where death has become rampant and some people have resorted. Ooh, ooh! I did not know that it was this dark.
Ano siya?
Is this
Wow.
YA or no? Oh, it's
Are
adult.
animals harmed there or not?
Adult. Okay, not YA. Interesting. A bone dog, like a magical, like a dog made out of bones only, and he's alive. I really enjoyed What Moves the Dead. It's a retelling of the Fall of House of Usher. Yeah, yep. I haven't actually read Fall of the House of Usher. I haven't watched is it Netflix? I don't know the adaptation as well. It I think it's a modern adaptation, but I haven't watched any of that, so I didn't know about
Mhm.
the original source of the book. But I really like the haunted, not haunted, but like gothic house. Um, and the nature horror aspect of What Moves the Dead. And I feel like she did a good job at really making it very spooky without being too much. Like it's not just gory for gory's sake or
Mhm.
something like that. I felt like everything that she described was just like creating that atmosphere. No animals harm. It's not in the content warning at least. Well, that's a relief. The dog is just a bone. That is a relief.
Okay, no animals harmed. Okay. I'm good with human cannibalism, just not with animals.
Oh, well, if maybe you're not gonna like bunny.
Are rabbits harmed there?
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to remember if it's like a graphic
mm,
section. I think a bit. I think there's a bit like it's not off page. It's a little bit on page, I think.
uh, got
So
it.
content warning, I suppose. Yes, I see what you mean. Really enjoyed the atmosphere of it as well. Well, I hope that that is enough for you to enjoy Natal and Bone because it's a 350-page book. But let us know if you're gonna switch to a different book. But it's on my TBR as well, so I hope it's good. Natal and Bone. It's pretty graphic depiction in my that's too bad. Like I just remember that there are lots of bunnies. It's not just one bunny. There's like bunnies plural and yeah. So there's that.
Okay, thank you for the warning. I'll just be like,
There's a graphic depiction of like of gory stuff for humans. That's fine.
fine with me, fine
Humans,
with me. Just not
bodies,
animal. No, no, no. Humans can go. I don't know. Like I'm totally okay with that.
you don't care.
Yeah. But if it's animals, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Ah, trying to think of like what moves the dead because like, you know the cover of what moves the dead, right? It's like a
Yeah.
creepy bunny.
Yeah, like a creepy,
So you're
I don't
okay
know, like
with
nature-ish.
graphic depictions of animals in hurt, but not when humans are hurting animals.
Yeah. Well, also no, if like
Mm,
it's avoidable. But if
yeah,
it's just more bothersome if it's a human inflicting the
yeah,
hurt. Because like
got
it
it.
makes me hate humans more.
More than we already do.
Yes.
Hi, Vanessa. How are you? I saw your rap. You did so good. Congratulations on 1K. Did you see her rap?
No, not yet. But I saw it and then notification. So was it a challenge to like rap?
It was so cute. And she did like those lyrics, the rhyming and everything. There was a
Not just a
master.
book, like an all rounder.
Yeah, you
Book
should watch
tuber.
it at the next minute. Or maybe should we play it here? No, I don't want to put Vanessa on the spot, but yeah, that was a fun video that I saw today. Hey, do you want to go to the next sprint?
Yeah. Do share what you guys what Vanessa's gonna be reading though.
Yeah, let us know if you're gonna be reading. Are you reading the stuff for Smatella?
Smatala.
Smatella, which is apparently Smut and Coachella, not Smut and Nutella, not Smut and Novella. It's Smut and Coachella.
I mean, to be honest, it's also what I Smart Coachella is what I initially thought of.
I don't know where my brain was at. It was just in Nutella and Novella. I don't know. I actually downloaded all the books for that, but I haven't like I have
Mm.
so many books on my TBRs and stuff, so I haven't started yet. But maybe after Kings of Wrath if
Yeah,
I'm in
I
the
already
store.
downloaded it too.
The
I
free
think it was
one.
Knotted and the other one. I
Yeah.
haven't started yet.
But it's not is it long? Is it like 300
I think
pages?
around 300, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
it's a short one. I mean, it's an average sized one. Okay, I'm gonna go for reading sprint number 2. 25 minutes, okay? Happy reading.
Hey everyone.
Hi. It sounds like a delivery here.
That's why I said come in earlier.
How was the sprint?
I was able to read until like 23%, which isn't so
Mm.
bad. It's like almost a quarter of the book.
How
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 about
is the
you?
book?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't saying anything about the book yet. But so before I started reading this, I checked the other works of the author,
Mm.
and I saw that I think all, if not all, at least most of her books are space related. She even
Mm.
has like Star Wars books
Yeah, okay.
written by her. So now that I'm reading it and knowing that fact, she does write it pretty well. Like she knows what she's talking about. She knows what um how a ship would
Mm.
work, how certain parts of a ship work, how just the overall physics and technicalities of like being in space. She knows what she's talking about, which adds to my enjoyment of the book because like I love things like that. Like okay, I don't understand fully the terms, the
Yeah.
space terms, but you sound like you know it. And
Mm.
it's not even like a matter of like flexing the knowledge, but like when you look it up, it just makes sense.
Yeah. Wait, so it's a sci-fi, but there's romance, right? Or is the romance
Yes.
very like subdued?
There is romance. There's definitely romance because like even just looking at the cover, there's like a
Mm.
back to back people on the cover. And even at like the first chapter, the hint is already there.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
And because like it's marketed as like a sexy space heist. So I was only assuming that there's
Space.
gotta be romance here.
Is it like a no? Is it like a what do you call this? Relo fanfic? No.
No, 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 not really, not really. Because like they're just ordinary people, not
Yeah.
even like not having powers or anything like that. It's just set in space.
Yeah. Feel like I think I watched Cindy's wrap up of a books that she's read for the past couple of
Mm,
months. And the number of Raylo authors or like authors that are within the Raylo fanfic fandom,
mm,
I mean, these fanfic writers
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that she read was like she was just shocked. They're everywhere. She's like, I feel like a lot of like romance writers now are from
From yeah, they're from AO3
pretty
or
cool.
like
Yeah, pretty cool. So time to change. What are you switching to? Let us know. So are you like DNFing the series since you don't like the third book?
completely.
Yeah. Me, I made it to 85% of the book. And I just finished like a scene where there's like a lots of angst and lots of like
Mhm.
emotions, which is quite fun to read. So we're fully in the third act conflict now. So I think I'm
How
gonna
long? How far are you in again?
85%.
Okay, okay.
I think it's possible to finish in the next sprint if I like focus on reading. I'm 90% in right now, 19% in right now. Got it quite a bit more interesting. There's a lot of backstory and character building, which does make me enjoy it more. That's good. Because I think you mentioned earlier that the character felt cliche, but I guess it's good that they're now like developing the character. I'm trying to remember in What Moves the Dead, because it's so short, it like the development of the character wasn't extensive, but I felt like she still did a good job. Like I got a good feeling for who the
Mm,
protagonist was. Especially there was a bit of backstory in the beginning with the protagonist, but yeah, I feel like I got a good feeling about like what type of person he is and made sense with the story. Never read anything by Raylo author and I have no idea what Raylo even is.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it's just like the ship name of
yeah, yeah. Like
Ray and
Ray and Kylo.
Kylo Ren.
Yes.
I'm not a big Star
Kylo
Wars fan,
Ren. Mm,
but I think there's like a which one is it? Like obviously the Ali Hazelwood
yeah,
books,
yeah,
like the most popular example, but I think there's like four books that she mentioned in that wrap up. Let me just check because she lists the book in the description. But just a bunch of books that they're not necessarily that the book characters are like inspired by Raylo, but that the
Mm.
author came from the Raylo, I guess, fandom. Interesting. Let's see. Um, was it The Measure? The one with Julie Soto, I think, is one of it.
Really?
Wait, what's the name of the nanny? I forget. Anyway, the main character in Welcome to the Dead, and she's soldier, if I remember. Yeah, soldier, and she did a backstory of like because this guy came from a country, and then in that country they even had their own they had like different pronouns, different ways of distinguishing people if you were in the military, if you were this or that, and
Mm.
then it went to that even in just like such short pages. So I was just kind of amazed that she was able to build that kind of backstory. Like, she didn't super duper rely on character tropes to build the character, even if
Mm-mm.
like the overall book is just like 50 pages. Like, she really put the effort in building that male protagonist. Which is quite nice. Should read it. I recommend it. Highly recommend. Okay. I'm still trying to check the list of books. Oh, I think the Dead Romantics, Ashley Poston. I think she mentioned that Ashley
What
Poston
the
was the one who wrote 7 Years Slip. She's
Ashley
a
Poston?
yeah, she's like from the Raylo fandom. If
Ooh.
remember.
Well, it does say fanfic author by night. Bestseller by day, fanfic author by night.
What a flex. Bestseller by day. This one, The Nanny, Lana Ferguson. I think was also a real from a Raylo fanfic writer. And Practice Makes Perfect, I think, is also from Sarah Adams, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Not sure. Please help me pick Done and Dusted by Lila Sage, Fall Boys by Penelope Douglas, or Casanova by T.L. Swan. I'm gonna go with Done and Dusted just because I also want to read it.
Yeah, because like it has a good
Yeah, it
the
has
vintage cover.
the retro looking cover. So let us
Okay,
know
I
if
vote
you
for
like.
that too.
But Penelope Douglas, isn't she like the slightly controversial writer because the books that she writes has so many trigger warnings and stuff. Like she writes a lot of like bully romance, right? Punk 57, Trisix Venom.
That yeah. I actually
I
have
think
that
so.
on my TBR. I think
Yeah, me
Punk
too. Yeah, Punk
57.
57. I think it's a bully romance, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, but I want to try her books because a lot of people said that if you are okay with the trigger warnings, it's a pretty good book. Like obviously you have to remember that this is fiction. It's
Mm,
not supposed to be like reflective of real life.
yeah.
The book I'm currently reading annoys me. Yeah, so I vote Done and Dusted, so you can tell us if it's
Yeah, you
good.
should read that.
I'm so close to cover buying it because the covers just look so cute. I'm so close. So stop me if it's not good. I love Penelope Douglas though. My morals went out the window. Well, we already know that, but I feel
Yeah,
like
it's like a given.
think I think the good thing about like if you just obviously know that this is fiction, and just because an author writes about this specific thing doesn't mean that it's like condoning it. That's the hope, at least. Devil's Night series by Penelope Douglas has a lot of trigger warnings. I don't know what that series is. Is that the one with like corrupted and um corrupt or corrupted? Then like the one with like the cemetery doors, hiding, hideaway, hideout, something like that. Yeah. Hideaway. One with the cemetery imagery cover. The covers are it's a long series. 4.5 books. But I like the covers. It's so ominous. The first book is Corrupt. Okay, as we should Done and Dusted by Lattice Age. I hope you like it. This is a cowboy romance. Yes, it is a cowboy romance. Why is there a resurgence of cowboy romance recently? Like,
Did
is it
I've never sought them out, to be honest. So
same? I've never been that interested, but I feel like recently I have been seeing so many cowboy romance, like so many, and I don't know where it came. Like, what started it? Like, what book sort of like started the resurgence right now? I'm kind of curious because then maybe I want to read that book because that book might be good if it made everyone. Oh, is it the Chestnut Spring series? Is that a cowboy romance? Elsie
I
Silver.
have no idea.
I think that I mean that's the one that I've been reading about Chestnut Springs series. Flawless is the first book. Is this a cowboy romance? Bull riding. I guess it is. It seems like it is. There's bull riding. There's small town. Yeah, I think this got super popular, and maybe this is why the whole genre of cowboy romance is exploding right now. I love Devil's Night, and I problematic. I love the villain. Kind of want to read this. I'm gonna pencil this in for the series that I do on BookTuber. I read fun, morally questionable books.
Ooh.
So I've been reading the Never After series. Like Hooked is the first book. I haven't continued yet, but I plan to finish that in the next 2 weeks. The whole series.
Mm.
I love cowboy romance. Donna Grant writes them so good. I don't know who Donna
Familiar
Grant.
name. Familiar name.
Darkest Flame. What book by Donna Grant would you recommend? Oh, the cover of Darkest Flame is a shirtless guy with a dragon tattoo.
Which one? Which one?
Darkest Flame by Donna Grant. It's a shirtless guy with a like a dragon with wings tattoo, like a Game of Thrones dragon. I'm here by the way, just lurking.
Oh,
All good. Are you reading something, Vanessa? Or are you doing work or something else? Getting ready. Okay. Soraya Lane. Yeah, you did mention this last time. I didn't know you mentioned this author. I didn't know that she wrote cowboy romance. Chestnut Spring series also yeah. Yep. I think that really did that's like this thing that I see the most in a bunch of like booktubers, Chestnut Spring series. And I think they got re-released with I think they got traditionally published. The covers are
mm.
cute. The new covers are cute. Flawless. LC Silver. I saw one of the new books by Elsie Silver. Is it Wild Love recently? And like the cover with the cow in front. I love that cover, but I don't know if that's the traditionally published edition. But I love it. It looks very cowboy.
Cowboy.
Have you read Chestnut Springs? Bea, cowboy romance is such an underrated trope. I'm trying to think, like, what are the tropes within cowboy romance? Obviously, there's like rugged men, there's like horses, and I guess I don't know, working at a farm ish setting. What else? What else is in cowboy romance? Sell the genre to me. Ang saya ng morally gray books. Honestly, truth. Wait, let me check on Goodreads which Donut Grant I can recommend. Hit or miss. Okay, let me know which
But
one
to
I
be
should.
fair, the Donna Grant books have high
High
ratings.
ratings?
They're pretty
Is it
famous, I
on?
guess.
Are you on KU? Let's see.
That
Donut
is the
Grant.
question.
No, she's not. Okay, let me check. Elsie Silver. Ooh, Elsie Silver is in KU. Okay. Soraya Lane's better for me. Is she on KU? Soraya Lane. Which one would you recommend? Her books? Wait, is this right? There's a Soraya Lane on KU, and the name of her books is The Paris Daughter, The Sapphire Daughter, The Italian Daughter, The Royal Daughter, The Cuban Daughter. The Is that cowboy romance? I'm so late with this popular book talk books. Me too. Like I don't even try to keep up. I just read what I want to read, kind of. I'm still so late. Hi, welcome back to the sprints. Are you gonna be reading with us? And how are you? I haven't read them. Oh, okay. Everyone's talking about it. That's why I just know about them. Trying to get out of bed to work out. Well, good luck. I hope. I mean, I think usually people feel good after working out. So hopefully during the sprints, you could potentially work out. Use that as your companion while working out. Rugged men, blue collar jobs, and all. I mean, you have to be
Men
at
in
rugged
uniform, I think, in
farms.
general.
Yeah, like sweaty men doing labor, manual labor stuff. Is that the we love domestic romance? Donna Grant is really popular, mostly on fantasy and romantic suspense. Okay, I'll have a look at her books and see what I want to read, but also leave a recommendation if you have one. Cowboy Ramos is sexy cowboy with hats, boots, a ranch or farm. Rancher's daughter, inherit. Okay, I see what I see what's going on here. I kind of get it. I kind of get it. But do you all have a suggestion for a cowboy romance to start with? Is the
So it
Elsie
needs to be
Silver?
a cowboy romance.
Yeah, I kind of want to like try the genre, the subgenre. Yes. Heart of Texas. Okay, Heart of Texas series. The Heart of Texas. Tu-tu-tu-tu-tu-tu. Wait, no, this is not the wrong Heart of Texas series. Donna Grant. Okay, add to cart. I add to cart. Add to TBR.
Huli. No, you said add to cart.
Freudian slip. Dirty sweaty men that clean up good and hot. I see what you're doing. Like, imagine dirty sweaty men and then they have to go somewhere where they have to wear a suit and stuff. I can see it. I can see it. Okay, Vanessa says flawless, but Elsie Silver. Dirty sweaty men. Amen.
Bea, you're kind of exposing yourself, but I love it.
I've only read one book. I found it in book sale and book three. Okay, I will try to see if I can get it on the library. Heartless by Elsie Silver is even better than Flawless. Is that like part of the series, or can I read it like out of order? But knowing me, I won't. I will read it in order. Is it like companion series or is it following the same couple? So we have flawless, heartless, powerless, reckless, hopeless. Okay. I'm gonna add to TBR. Let me add to wish list. Flawless LCs because I've been seeing it everywhere and I kind of Want it. Oh, it's in KU. Okay, 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 okay. I can try it on KU first. Okay, that's good.
So have you decided on what cowboy romance to add?
Yeah, probably start with Flawless since it seems so popular. But I'm not reading it now. Sure,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, it's
like
for the
rich guy,
video.
a billionaire, forced arranged marriage romance. Add to cart.
It's always a billionaire. When is it ever that the woman is the millionaire, the billionaire,
Actually,
and it's the guy
yeah, I think the good thing about this one is the guy is a billionaire, but the woman is not like she's also like she's a self
self-made?
the guy is a nepo baby essentially, nepo baby billionaire, but the girl is like a self-made millionaire. I'm pretty sure she's a millionaire. So there was a scene here where like the guy flaunted his like black Amex card, and then they got into a fight. So she spent like $100,000 on like shoes and flowers and stuff. And then the guy like said that, oh, you should be thanking me. I just bought like the shoes that you're wearing for you. And then the next day she like left a check for $100,000 at his bedside table. I'm like,
I don't need your moolah. Love
I'm like,
that.
oh, girl. Wish I could do that too. You can read it out of photo. Oh, okay, okay. So it's different couples. It's not like one long story. Got it. No suitina, just wearing clean clothes and that hat. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we live in the well, Bea is also in the Philippines, so like I never had that cowboy aesthetic in my radar. We're gonna be reading Done and Dusted. Ooh, you're gonna be Bea in the chat is also reading Done and Dusted. So you can both tell us if you like it. Y'all got my blood pumping this morning. I'm thinking, and yes, I'm glad that worked out for you. So hopefully you have a good workout. Just think of the cowboy romances. River Ranch. Okay, River Ranch series. River Ranch. Soraya Lane. Okay. Once upon a cowboy Christmas, a River Ranch novel.
Once a what? Once upon
Once
a.
upon a cowboy Christmas. It's a novella. So the first book is Cowboy Stole My Heart. When I am reading it too, I speak my Pams. I go away for a little bit, grab a snack, and go. Well, you never know what happens in the sprints. Sometimes we thirst for cowboys, I guess. Like what is the definition of a cowboy? What is a cowboy? Is that just someone who lives like in a
In a
ranch and wears
ranch and
a hat?
has a farm.
Yeah, or like wears that hat? Or is there like an actual okay, a man who typically on horseback who herds and tends to cattle, especially in the western US. Informal, a person who is reckless and careless. Okay, so it is a job. Got it. Okay. We like I have no idea what cowboys are. I just know the look, but I don't know like what it officially is. So we thirsty? Yes, you got it. Okay. Horsey. I feel like we're devolving into like something. The cowboy talk.
Bea, I
Let's
think it's just you.
yeah. Well, everyone else in the chat seems to really be enjoying cowboy. Well, I don't know about Senna. If you're on board with that as well, but happy to check out that maybe after I finish all my reads. So let's do another sprint so I can actually finish my reads. This is a third sprint, right? Yep.
Yes.
Tapos lang. I wonder if should be called Western romance. I don't know. Yeah, probably. If I don't know, but I guess when I think of Western romance, the cowboy look does come to mind. So I guess that's why it's commonly associated with that as well. Yeah, let's do a sprint so we can all cool off and recover from all the cowboy thirsting that we've been doing. 25 minutes. Happy reading.
Happy reading, everyone.
Hey,
Hello, hello. Oh,
how is the last sprint?
I got to 34%. So that's still really good. Considering
You'll
that
probably
the is still
get to
pretty
half
short.
next sprint. Are you
Maybe 45%.
wait, is it long? How long is it?
It's
I think it's
192. It's 192 pages.
okay, okay, okay.
So
Is
how
it
about you?
the reading
Did you
good?
finish?
No, I'm at 97, 95
Oof,
percent. So almost there. I'm so
definitely.
yeah, but I didn't expect I guess the resolution to be like this. It feels kind of weird. It feels like I'm back to the beginning of the book.
Hmm.
But it feels different. Like the way that they're trying to resolve the third act conflict. Which is interesting. That's good. It's junk food romance. Like it's so easy to get.
You're eating it up,
Yep.
basically.
Hi Kay. How are you? I hope you get some good coffee in you. I want coffee, but it's nighttime and I really shouldn't have coffee. Done with chapter one of Done and Dusted. Happy to report that it's good so far. That's good to know. Actually, I have no idea what it's about. I just like the cover. I just know that it's cowboy romance and the cover is really good. Let me actually check what the premise is. She's off limits, but has never been good at following the rules. Notorious bad boy, bar owner, and bachelor. Blah 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 blah. Okay, it's kind of like bad boy, good girl vibes. I didn't read the synopsis. To be fair, it's kind of fun getting into books without knowing anything, which is usually like difficult when you're watching a lot of like booktube or like book content in general. But it's good that you're
So
liking it. So,
far.
is it?
How long is it? Done and dusted. Done and dusted.
I think it's like in the 300, 300 something.
It's 356.
Um, I'm 30% my way through right now. The world's finally been set up, so things are happening. Main character's journey to collect magic so she can kill her sister's husband. Yeah, I think I read that she's supposed to like do three tasks or something like that. Well, I'm glad that uh, it seems like a good book because I know I've heard a couple of people who liked What Moves the Dead but didn't like this one. Have you read Bride? No, not yet, right?
No, not yet, not yet. But
Yeah, that one.
it's on my
Yeah,
TBR.
I just remembered because you said that. I mean, you reacted when you saw that Done and Dusted was 350 pages. Bride is like 400 pages. It's kind of long, especially for
Yeah.
romance.
Well, as long as it's not like over,
It's 740 pages.
I was saying 500.
But Bride felt kind of long, kind of.
But it's fantasy romance, right?
Yeah, I guess that. Well, the fantasy aspect is sort of light. It's kind of like you just accept that you're in a fantasy world, but it's not the romance is more like important part of the book. It's not like Akotar where there's like heavy fantasy plot points and heavy romance plot points. This one is just like romance set in like a fantasy world, but the like fantasy aspect is not as intense.
Okay.
Definitely enjoying it less than What Moves the Dead, but would give it 3 stars at the moment. Okay, that's fair. Fully it edges its way up to a 4 maybe. What is the longest romance book that you guys have read? Well, recently we read a very long romance book, which is Fucking Around. That's 740 something pages.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if I've read anything long. I feel like I have. Well, pure romance, I don't think I have. But I remember that fantasy romance Iron Flame was like 800 something pages. Um, but
800?
yeah, Iron Flame was 800 something pages. It's so long.
I mean,
But it has fantasy elements, so it's not like the same as just pure romance. There's like a lot more that they have to. Oh, sorry, Walking Around is 756. I have to update the
56. Yeah.
title in my video that's coming out tomorrow. Um, let's see. I think that's the longest. Oh, let me check. Four Horsemen series because those were pretty long. No, Pestilence was only. I think Death was the longest. Even this one is just 500 something pages. It's not as long as. So probably Walking Around. I'm not sure about you, Pam, but I think that's
Yeah,
for.
it's definitely that. As in like a stand, well, a solo book.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
one book.
definitely that.
Yeah. Have you read it, Bea? Walking Around. The book is 700 plus pages. Well, I guess if you think about it, if you have to write scenes and
Yeah.
romance for four people with like all of the combinations, well, a lot of the combinations, then I guess it makes sense that it's that long because then you'd have to, it's essentially like one, two, three, four, five, six. It's essentially like like couples or
Combinations. Yeah.
relationships, yeah, in one book. So I guess it looks like a Bible. The longest one I've read is By a Thread by Lucy Score. Yeah, I've seen it, but I didn't expect that to be super long. It looked like the typical
Lucy Score.
contemporary. Yeah, By a
Lucy
Thread.
Score.
Ooh, 550 pages. I think have you read
Oh, I've been seeing this cover. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the Knock 'Em
500.
Out series is also long. Things We Left Behind. It's also Lucy Score, and I think that's also long. Like 500 pages per book. So I guess she just writes long romances. But I think Knock 'Em Out series has like a mystery element to it or like a crime element. So maybe that's why. Fantasy Famine. You Are My People. That's also my favorite book. In the Four Horsemen series, Famine.
Is it the horseman thing?
Yeah, the one that I read, um, where they're all like trying to end the world, and obviously they fall in love with the girl. But Famine is the third book, and I love that. That's my favorite. I think after Famine, War is my next favorite. I can only do 320-page romance at most. OMG. Yeah, I feel like 300 to like 400 and below is kind of like a good
Yeah.
length for like a romance that doesn't have like that's not gonna have like a lull parts or long drawn out plot. But I guess with some books because yeah, they have other stuff. Cool tip. Yeah, I know that Mariana Zapata does a lot of slow burn romances, so her books are pretty long. The one that I've heard the most about is All Roads Lead Here. I think that's like a single dad romance, if I'm not mistaken. And that's like pretty popular, and everyone's saying that it has the best slow burn romance. I just can't get over like one of Mariana Zapata's book where she talked about Filipino food like it's so disgusting. And I'm like, So I haven't gotten over that annoyance yet for me to read her book. I feel like there's a lot more books that I can read before I get to her, but maybe it is like all roads lead here is in my TBR, but it's not a priority. I cannot finish bucking around. I am intimidated. Wait, so you've started it? Where, like, when, up to when did you read the book? Because I mean, I read it quite fast just because it's easy to read, and I'm like, I just want to get this over with. But yeah, I hope it's not wordy. It's, I wouldn't say it's well, I think the latter half is kind of wordy. I think the first half of the book is pretty good. The latter half kind of like wordy. By the time produces scores unexpectedly good, it took a while to pick up though. I have no idea what the premise of that book is. I just saw the cover with the dress and by a thread.
Yeah, like what do you call this?
Dominic blah blah blah. Okay, kind of a little bit of enemies to lovers. I love famine, but I'm
If
biased with
read
it.
out of context, so that's so
I love
weird.
famine.
I love famine.
That is the classic sort of bad boy, dark brooding, whatever guy, I suppose. But I liked him because I usually like those characters. But I felt like if you compare him to Famine, to War,
Mm,
even Pestilence, like he's kind of like basic. He's like the whole brooding. I'm angry. You're like I'm the boss. You're whatever. But then the other
mm.
guys have something else going through them. Famine has the darkest humor. And also I think Famine is the most brutal out of the four. Like when it comes to the main girl, I think he's the most brutal. Yeah, from what I remember. Ranking the four horsemen. Okay, my ranking is Famine, War, and then Death, then Pestilence, or Pestilence, then Death. I'm not sure about the last two, but definitely Famine and then War. We have like slightly opposite rankings. Fam, you need to read the Four Horsemen series.
Girl,
Or watch my video if you
I
want like
mean,
the clip
when
notes.
we talked about this before, I was like, I am
Intrigued.
convinced, but
It's
just
not
not
super long.
now.
Each book is not super long. It's like 300 to 400 pages. I think Famine is the longest with almost 500. Dear Aaron, IDNF that one. Okay. 5%, so poking around. Yeah. It does. It is fun and entertaining to read, but it is long. Like I got tired of it at some point, and then I just like kept reading to finish it. But it's kind of a lot. By a thread, enemies to lovers romance, and the hero is so grumpy. Wait, is it also like Grumpy Sunshine, or just the guy is just grumpy? Yup, that is definitely the tamest. Definitely the brooding bay. I agree. Famine is merciless. Yup, famine is like the most brutal, and I don't know why I like him. Oh, you better read it, the Four Horsemen series. You will not regret this sexy ass man. You will not even notice you're reading a thick book.
I mean, does it have like an audiobook?
I think so. I'm not sure if it's on. Let me check on library. But it has been traditionally published, so there is a chance
Mm,
that Pestilence. Oh, it's not on my account. But I think there is. Pestilence. Maybe searching just
let me check
famine is
on.
not
Yeah, yeah,
Pestilence.
yeah. Searching it on Libby.
Flora Thalasma. Yeah, there is an audio book. but it's not available in
Will
my
it be?
audio. Yep. Well, it's on Audible. Is so there is an
Oh, the
audiobook.
only one I see is Rhapsodic.
Ah, yeah, that's a different
Rhapsodic?
series with the same
A different
author.
series.
Yeah, I think that one is Siren. Like a siren is involved or something like that. Or
Like a
no, I think
dragon. Wait.
I'm thinking of something else. Sorry, I think this one is the one where there's like a deal with a devil or something like that.
Yeah, because like
Probably,
it has a
yeah,
dragon wing.
like she doesn't back down on him. Literal. Okay, that's good. I like a badass heroine with a grumpy hero. That's good. There is an audiobook. Get it? I love Rhapsodic. Ah, okay, mermaid, not siren. I think I just know that there's something about like a siren type character. I guess it's a mermaid and a fae. I haven't actually tried other Laura Talasa books. I'm still hung up on the Four Horsemen. But, ah, but the covers are really nice. I think it's also a siren. Oh, okay, okay. I don't know. I haven't really read too much into the synopsis. Let me check. Rhapsodic. Laura Thalassa. Siren with a very big problem. So it is a siren. Yeah, it's a bargainer series. I forget the name. Oh, the reviews are not that great. It's average. But no, the people I'm following in Storygraph, they didn't review this very highly. But that's fine. Laura Thalassa. Let's see. Third book na dyan, ka na-distract ni family. Wait, so you read Rhapsodic first or Bargainer series first before you read the Four Horsemen? I can vouch that it's good, but for okay, okay. I think what I liked about the Four Horsemen is that it is very funny, and like each book is funny in different
But
ways.
not cringe.
Not well, there is a bit, but not to the point where the entire book is cringy. Because I think it's kind of hard to make like end of the world actual brutality and
Yeah.
stuff super cringy to the point that the book is cringy. But there are parts where it's like because trying to think of a specific example, but just know that they obviously they look like humans, but they're not. So they don't know like the common human things. Like they would come they would do things that like humans would be like cringy about, but they're like, why is this so cringy? Blah blah blah. I read the Four Horsemen first while waiting. Okay, you read it while it was still ongoing. Got it. Not cringe for me. Yeah. The cover does remind me of Jason Momoa in his like Khal Drogo like era. The cover for War, and I think because
What? It's a
It's
different
not.
cover when I look at it.
Well, look at
Has a
the
shield
indie
and
cover. No, look at the cover with the naked men. That's the indie published cover. War is his like War the character. His the way that he does relationship is pretty much like Khal Drogo from Game of Thrones.
like
That's how he is.
violent,
Like kind of violent, very possessive,
possessive,
very
yeah,
yeah,
protective.
very you're my wife and blah blah blah. She's nobody
Yeah,
touches
I
that.
will wage war
Like
for
I
you.
will kill yeah, that exactly that. So if that's her vibe. Oh, I remember the ending of War and I'm getting so sad. Pestilence Orlando Bloom. Just because he has an arrow doesn't mean he's Orlando Bloom. But the cover does give Orlando Bloom vibes, minus the elven ears. Famine, Heath. I feel like actually these are kind of accurate. Famine, like with the even with the humor, and then death is Ian Somerhalder. I'm thinking of Roman Reigns or Jason Momoa. What more? Yeah, definitely. When I read it, I immediately thought this is like very Khal Drogo coded. Orlando Bloom was Legolas. But in fairness, with Pestilence, like the opening of Pestilence is like it's so brutal. Like I didn't expect. I guess that's because it is it dark romance. I think that's my first foray into like romance with very, very like dark, violent tropes
Um, Aside
or
from
like
Mindfuck
violent.
series.
Yeah, I read this before Mindfuck series.
Ah.
So I think this was my first foray into that. So I was kind of shocked with the brutality of it in the beginning. Like Pestilence, this is not a spoiler. Like Pestilence would literally stab her with an arrow. Like
Mm.
it's that kind of like relationship in the beginning because obviously he's trying to end the world. He's not trying to fall in love. We need Pam to read the Four Horsemen. It was
So is
more of
this
yeah, it's
the moral of
post-apocalyptic.
the live show?
I guess it's just dark in terms of obviously the themes of the fact that one they're ending the world and then they have different methods of ending the world and the I really like the fact that they showed like the aftermath of things because this happened like the four series has happened in like what 28 years 30 years spanning 30 years so you kind of see the aftermath of what pestilence did what war did and it's set in like different countries so it's not just in New York it's not just in the US it's in different countries so quite like that Mindfuck series honestly Mindfuck series was tame everything compared to um Four Horsemen just because in Mindfuck series the violence is separate from the romance. Like them together, they're not violent with each other. It's just that the
Ah.
girl is a serial killer and she does violent stuff. So it didn't feel like the usual dark romance tropes. Where, for example, in Hunting Adeline, they had violence between like the couple.
Mm.
But with Mindfuck, it's more of like one party is a serial killer and then one is an FBI agent. But they're never like tapos pandemic. He found it, Tim. What? Wait, this is for Mindfuck series? It is. It isn't it kind of like it's
Well,
red.
it's pretty
Uh,
graphic. It can get
it's
pretty
graphic.
graphic. So.
I guess I'm just thinking when I because usually Mindfuck series is considered like a dark romance, but when I think of dark romance, I'm thinking the whatever content warning is it's happening between the two couples instead of just separately. Because with Mindfuck series, it is graphic, but it was never like them doing graphic things together, aside from sex, I guess.
Mm.
And then the way that they have sex is not like they're violent. The only person I know who found it. Now I feel like am I just misremembering Mindfuck? I was gonna find maybe this is showing my true colors. Ah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's not tame in the sense that yes, there's very graphic scenes, like very graphic, I guess, killing scenes, but it's not them together. Like if you've read Hunting Adeline, that's like more intense than the Mindfuck series. I guess that's what I think when I think of dark romance, but it's not always like that. I know. Usually just means like a dark theme and then romance. you not
So
liking
should I
or
read
what?
it? So should I read Hunting Adeline?
Well, there's no animal harm.
Okay,
So that's
perfect.
not gonna be
Sold.
a problem. The first book I really liked. I think mm,
Wait, it's a fucking
well,
series?
here's the thing. It's a duology. There's a book that's kind of like a prequel, but it's just set in the same universe. But anyway, the original thing is like a duology. I
Mm.
think if you are okay with questionable origin story of relationships, like the way that they got together is it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome vibes.
Ah, okay,
So
okay,
if you're
okay.
okay with, but then Stockholm syndrome, but make it violent, make it like
Towards each other?
you make it very grape grapey. If you get what
Ah,
I mean. I'm trying not to say the word.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
there are elements of that. Well, there's quite a bit in the beginning, so
So
it's
it can
definitely
get pretty triggering. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, it's definitely a not a book where you think that oh they're so good for each other kind of thing.
yeah. Yeah. They're so toxic to each other.
Kinda, yeah, they are. Well, not kinda, yeah, they are. They are toxic to each other. But I guess because of the whole concept that that the guy is this whole very brooding, like touch her and I'll kill you. Who did this to you? All of those kind of tropes, like he has that, and that's why he's like
Okay.
so popular as like a. And he's kind of a. Is it a spoiler? Like I mean, I guess it's kind of expected that he's gonna have like a he's morally gray. He's not just like evil. There's like a morally gray aspect to him. But he's definitely unhinged and insane. But I want Stalker. Do you have any idea of what Haunting Adeline is? Like in terms of
I just know it has a lot of trigger warnings in people pointed out that it can be pretty triggering and problematic even.
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. But the general like I guess synopsis is the guy is a stalker essentially. He stalks the girl to the point that he made the girl like him. So that's kind of like the PG like synopsis of that. Violence, yeah. Can you? The thing is, like, I have no problem with this part. It's the origin, like, it's the beginning of the relationship that I have a problem with. But it's like
Uh,
they do what they want. Like, I don't care if that's what I want to do, then whatever.
it's a kink
But
for
it's
them.
yeah, it's the beginning part that's like questionable. Makes me like it kind of undercuts the foundation of the rest of the relationship for me. But I still read it because I wanted to know what happened. But kind of toxic, not kind of, really toxic. The guy instills fear, yeah. Kind of raw by, but I haven't read this. This is a book. Raw Bell Aurora. Raw. Oh, the cover is like really giving dark
Which one?
romance. Raw by Belle Aurora.
Belle Aurora. Of
The author's note: this is not a love story. This is a story of love gone wrong.
course.
Yeah.
Is he again a billionaire?
Well, he's in a
Look at the
suit.
cover.
The cover is in a suit, so
Yeah, so I'm like, is he a billionaire yet again?
oh, by the way, in Hunting Adeline, the guy is like filthy rich. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but he's filthy rich.
When will there be representation for the poor
Well,
guys?
I feel like if the guy is already doing all those crazy shit like stalking and stuff, he needs to at least have money for women.
Resources?
Yeah, he needs to at least have money for like for women to like him. Like we need to at least get something out of this relationship. But I'm gonna check Raw out. I haven't heard of that. But then the second book, I like the first half. The second half of second book, I was like, oh, this feels like fan service. Zayd is filthy rich. Yeah, he doesn't wear shoes. It kind of has that hacker look. That's his like hoodies and
Mm,
they later on. But yeah, I don't know if you'll actually like it. It is very intense and triggering, and especially in the beginning. So I don't think I would recommend it for to anyone just because of the beginning part. Like if you're curious about it and you're okay with it, then read it. But I wouldn't say go read Hunting Adeline now. I wouldn't do that
yeah,
for
yeah,
now.
yeah. It's not something that you
Yeah.
readily
Like I won't
recommend.
force, like I won't recommend someone, I won't encourage someone to read it, but obviously if you stumble upon it, you read what it's about, then you want to read it, then you do you, but I wouldn't say that go read it. Honestly, this all makes me want to give Rock Romance a ride, not because it seems fun, but because I want to see what the fuck it's all about. Yeah, I actually am trying to think about like what is it with dark romance is like that makes it really compelling. Maybe it's just like the, I guess the fact that it's kind of unhinged and that everyone's just free to give whatever
Yeah, it's a free for all
they have, like
genre.
not being judged by it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think that's like one of the draws. Like for people, for people, dark romance kind of gives you an I guess an avenue to just explore things that are not socially accepted.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Like taboo stuff that
I
you
guess
won't get judged for when
in a way,
reading.
there's like a similarity to horror, where with horror it's kind of like exploring this very not usually like very messed up or very taboo topics usually,
Mm.
but then this one it you kind of have the entertaining value of like it's a romance, so if you like romance then, but I
Yeah,
guess
yeah,
it kind
yeah.
of to the fact that with horror there's no expectation of you to like think of this as like a romantic thing but with romance there's this expectation that you're kind of rooting for them as a couple. I
Mm.
guess that's the biggest difference, but it is entertaining. It's yeah, if you're not like shocked by triggering stuff, or if that's okay with you, it is entertaining. Some dark romances aren't super like bad in terms of the topics. Like for Horseman series, it's dark-ish romance, but it's not to the point where like Hunting Adeline.
Definitely, probably not very soon that I'll read it, but it's definitely on my radar. And
Mm.
I've been curious mostly because like
You see it
people
everywhere.
are like it's more of like when people warn you not to do
Yeah, you kind of
something
want to
or
read
not
it.
to read something, you're like, I'm gonna fucking do this.
Yeah, it is entertaining. So,
Stop me.
but it is kind of long. I think Hunting Adeline is 500 plus.
Well, 500 is okay.
551, and then the next book is um 531. Getting started to start Dark Romance. Do it for a video. You're gonna get something out of it for a video. Dark Romance video.
I mean, I'm already doing a romance
Ah, yeah,
vlog,
yeah. How is that?
so
Are you finished with the reading for that?
I'm still gonna read like maybe well, I'm currently reading the space romance,
It's for yeah, it's gonna be
so
included.
it's part of it. But I'm planning to read one more, and it's a book that I've already read, but I'm not gonna
Okay.
not gonna reveal it yet. So I'm just gonna let you guess which romance book you've already read that I'm
Wait, the
gonna
book
read.
that I've read.
Yes.
Okay, I have a guess, but I don't know if it's right.
Wow, out of everything, out of all the romance book you read, it's not the deal. It's not the deal. Sorry to disappoint you.
But I really romance is fun. There's a lot of like different genres, and it's like fun exploring the difference between the genres.
Mm.
Yeah. You guys wanna go into the final sprint of the night?
Yes, let's go. So
Last
I can
25
get to like
minutes.
40.
Yeah, so I can finish my book. I was so optimistic that I'd finish another book.
Wait, what are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna read a new book after you
If I
finished it?
finish this, I'll probably read Six Deaths of the Saint, which is the short story by Alex E. Harrow,
I
the author
have that
for
on Kindle.
Six Deaths of the Saint. It's very short. I think it's only
Not
30,
even like
29
50.
pages.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
29 pages, this one. Six Deaths of the Saint. And
Yeah,
I
that.
just found out about this from Carrie Can Reach channel, and she said that it was really good. So I'm like, oh, I'm gonna
Mm,
try it. It's a short story. Might as well.
okay.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna start reading sprint number 4, the final sprint. Happy reading.
That was quick.
Oh, I literally have one page left.
Girl, pause this and read it.
Okay, please hold.
Oh, yes, I'll give you time.
Okay, I'm done.
You
Like
said it's
literally,
one page left.
like one Kindle page left. Like I just had to finish reading the screen.
So, have you had time to process?
A bit because the page that I was reading was like an epilogue, so it was kind of like just a fun, cute moment, and I think it's quite well. It was okay. It wasn't like groundbreaking or anything like that. It
Mm,
was a little bit different in terms of the female protagonist. Like the way that they resolve the third act conflict isn't the typical big gesture
mm.
thing, which I actually
Happy.
quite like.
Mm.
I liked how they resolved it in the end and how it's not 100% resolved, but it's a lot more realistic, I guess, in a way, like how they resolved everything. Before that, Bea is leaving. So good night, Bea.
Aw.
Thanks for
Hi,
hanging out.
Bea. Thanks for
Um,
joining.
yeah, that was the last print anyway, so we are just in time. Hopefully you can hang out again in the next prints. How about
But
you?
is the Anna Huang book like a series? I'm
Twisted.
assuming it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It is a series. The series name is Kings of Sin. I
So
think
are
the
you gonna
next.
continue it?
Yeah, I will. I think the next one is King of Greed. They're all on Kindle Unlimited, if I'm not
But
mistaken.
it's the
So
same set of characters?
no, I can they kind of tease some characters. There's like a character here that I feel like will be a character for whatever the next book is. I think it's King of Pride is the next one. King of Pride. Opposites attract romance. It said it here. Okay. So it's all on Kindle Unlimited. So yeah, probably gonna read it all since it's all free anyway. Decided to DNF it at 40% in. Sina. It just became a standard quest based story, and I know I'll read.
Mhm.
Yeah, to be fair, that's fair. Um, I think that's also what I've heard from the people who didn't like it. It didn't have like it was very typical of a fantasy book. So I guess it makes sense that if you're not gonna like it anyway, just DNF it. I'm still not good at DNFing.
Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, I think not this deep into the book. I won't
Mm,
DNF it unless it's like super, super awful. Because I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like if I'm already like almost halfway through, I'm just gonna be like,
Sunk
just
cost
gonna power
bias.
through.
What's your threshold when it comes to DNFing? Is it like the first 10% or something like that?
Yeah, I feel like the first 10% at most, or even
Yeah.
like maybe like 15
Mm,
is pushing it. But at
yeah.
least like Sina is like justifying it in a way that they know they'll rate it 1 to 2 stars if they finish it. So
Makes sense. Yeah.
it just
Is the
hurts.
writing good? Well, TK Fisher isn't really a lyrical or like the words that she write aren't like beautiful in a way. I don't think so.
Mm.
So I guess you wouldn't read it for that either. So makes sense. Thank you for joining the sprints.
Thank you for joining.
I wasn't. I'm not sure when you joined, but I hope you got a lot of reading or whatever you were like doing. I hope we got a lot of it done during the sprints. I guess it's time to talk about when the next sprint will be. We do this alternately, so the next sprint is gonna be on Pam Shenanigans channel. Her channel is linked in the description box, so make sure to check that, subscribe, and that's where we'll be for the next sprint. We usually announce it like during the week, but it's usually either Sunday or Saturday. Saturday, same time, so 7 p.m. Manila, 7 a.m. Eastern, and 4 a.m. Pacific. That's usually the time. So make sure to, I guess, follow us so that you'll get um, uh, notified. Usually we post it on Instagram. Do you have things that you want to
Ooh.
promote?
Oh, sorry. I was just reading the additional comments from Tina.
Threshold is 50. Wow, that's half. Yeah, I
Damn,
feel like I wouldn't be able
halfway.
to do that half. But I can soft DNF a book. Like I can put it down and not read it for like a year and then go back to it. But I don't think I would. Is there a book that I DNF that's more than that? I don't think there is.
More than half, or like halfway, or more than halfway.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a book that I've DNF'd ever, but I can't really remember. But I know that I have DNF'd a book, but I can't remember which one because I barely did.
I think the recent DNF, I wouldn't even consider it a DNF, was like when I read the first two chapters of Spanish Love Deception
Hmm.
and I wasn't liking it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's why I switched to Love Hypotheses.
But are you gonna go back to it?
Maybe not now. When I ran out of, I feel like it's because like there are a lot of good
Yep.
romance books out there that needs my
Yeah.
attention.
Yeah. Honestly, the Spanish Love Deception, I enjoyed it when I read it, but at the time I was just starting out with the romance
Mm,
genre, so I wasn't really sure what to read. I just read what was popular. But now I don't think I would read it if I like knowing
or
like
even
what.
recommended.
Yeah, I don't think I would recommend. It's very, I guess. I guess if you're just looking for a very simple, straight to the point romance with
Mm,
like a grumpy character, enemies to lovers vibe, then I guess that's like a book that I could recommend. But I feel like there's gonna be a lot more books. Like I would recommend this book, King of Wrath, more than that. Than Spanish Love Deception. So
mm.
what is my dog doing? Why they look so weird? Okay. Like he looks like he doesn't have feet when he was lying down. And then he moved and he looked normal now.
Maybe he's calling for food. Like,
My dog, he's staring at me. He's just staring at me. Yeah, that is usually my cue because I usually have to walk them and then feed
yeah,
them this time after the sprints. So yeah, I guess just to say again, the next sprint is gonna be on Pam Shenanigans channel, and hopefully we'll see you there. Link is in the description box for her channel, so check it out. And yeah, thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you have a
thanks
good rest of your
everyone.
day, good weekend, and good week ahead.
Good night.
Bye.